Hey there, this is Matt with State of Flux here with a review for Wicked for Good, the long-awaited conclusion to Wicked comes 1 year later and is really, really good. It lives up to its title, at least in my opinion. I've heard that there's some differing takes out there, and I think a lot of that stems from the fact that there's no show-stopping number, as there was in the first half of Wicked, where there was 2 to 3 pretty massive, fantastic musical sequences. This half of the picture focuses less on the grand musical spectacle and much more on tethering it to the original Wizard of Oz and allowing for emotional maturity to take over. This is grander in scope, scale, and tone, and really matches the energy that that first one left off with in the front half of this picture before it sort of devolves into a more muted, emotionally resonant conclusion. However, as a lot of the major segments in this film are in a downward emotional trajectory, i.e. not quite so uplifting and spirited, but much more somber in its nature as it heads towards the conclusion, I can see how some people might be turned off by this. But I think that its emotional depth is really what makes this film float. It's really quite a strong feature, independent of the musical that surrounds it. Again, you have incredible performances from all of the cast, but it's really Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande who take control of this, and these women deserve their Oscars. I hope they get their nominations, and I hope they go one step further and win this time, because they are insanely good, even better than they were in the first movie. That being said, without any show-stopping number, I don't know that the either actress has a surefire nomination under their belt. Though I think that each one is incredibly good, especially Ariana Grande, who is asked to shoulder much more of the emotional heft this time around and not rely on her fun elements that made her so interesting to watch in the first one. She has a much more dramatic stake here in this half, but she owns it in ways that I didn't even think her capable of when I was her biggest cheerleader last year. So there is that. The movie's biggest problem for me is its pacing. This movie is considerably shorter than the previous installment, and yet it feels about a half an hour longer. I think that first film is so tightly paced that this one, to be not quite as tightly paced, is a little disappointing. And Jeff Goldblum has a song here that is, by all accounts, the definition of cringe. And it kind of hurt to watch, and not in that fun, like, oh, Jeff Goldblum's Goldblumin' kind of thing that he's kind of famous for. This one was more of like, can this end now, please? Yet it is a pretty vital segment of the movie, so it's not even something you could skip over, and I think a lot of people are going to point to that when they look at maybe negatives for this film. That one, I'm sure, will be among them. But as I've stated, I think this is an incredibly good movie. Almost as good, but not quite as good as Wicked Part 1, and I really like John M. Chu's direction this time around. He ended the previous film on such a high. This one opens on a continued high with more of an action sequence that is really, really powerful, and the film flows really well with bringing that tone down to where it ultimately needs to emotionally conclude. But that emotional closure that this film offers is powerful. I rolled tears. His visual storytelling this time around is incredibly strong, I think even stronger than in that first time. There's a couple flashback sequences that you get that, well, good. I wish we would have seen those exact scenes maybe in the prior film, just to really sell them, but as is. This is a very, very good movie. One of my 5 favorite pictures of the year, and I think you should check out Wicked for Good in theaters, lest you be spoiled by all the many, many spoilers there are. My daughter saw this, and she, having not ever watched the original stage play, was hit incredibly hard by several of the twists and turns this half takes. And I think if you are unfamiliar with the original stage play, you are going to have a much grander time with this than people who have seen the stage play and know that the back half is a little bit of a bummer. But I think you're going to enjoy it. She liked it better than Wicked Part 1. I land Wicked Part 1's better than this, though this is a brilliant conclusion. And if they wanted to do something else set in the world of Wicked, if they wanted to adapt Son of a Witch into a film musical and have it be a sequel to this film, or the Cowardly Lion book, I'd welcome it. I'm not ready to let this go, and because I love these films so much. I also did a ranking video, which you can check out right over here on my channel earlier this week, where I teased that I would say where this falls in my ranking. I think it would fall just under Wicked and The Wizard of Oz, to the number 3 spot of the Wizard of Oz related films. But let me know what you thought of Wicked for Good. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Peace.